The certificate in my hand felt light, too light for the weight I thought it carried. Just hours ago, I'd been proud of winning the regional business competition. Now, standing in my parents' living room, it felt more like a flimsy scrap of paper than an achievement. "Useless boy, you were never the bright one," my father's voice cut through the chatter like a blade. Wine glasses froze mid-air, relatives glanced anywhere but at me. That warm pride I'd felt just minutes before drained out of me, replaced by that old, familiar hollowness. My name is Ethan Cole. I'm 31 years old, and I'm the founder of a tech startup. This is the story of how I made my family finally see me. Growing up in Columbus, I lived in the shadow of my older sister, Natalie. She was the golden child, straight A's, the star athlete, the one whose picture was front and center on the mantle. My successes were brushed aside like crumbs from the dinner table. "Dad, I was thinking about expanding my company into," I started, even though I felt that knot in my stomach. "Ethan, please," he cut me off. "Your sister just secured $1 million contract. Let's focus on actual success for a moment." My mother offered me a sympathetic glance but stayed quiet. My aunt patted my hand and whispered, "Maybe business isn't your thing, dear. You were always so good with little hobbies." Little hobbies. That's what they called my tech startup, 3 years of sweat, sleepless nights, and risk, reduced to a pastime in their eyes. I nodded politely and slipped into the kitchen. My phone buzzed. A text from my business partner, Liam. "Did you tell them about the investor meeting?" "Not yet. Timing's not right," I replied. What I didn't type was the truth. There would never be a right time in this house. My father had decided years ago that I didn't have what it took. Too emotional. Not strategic enough. Not CEO material. The next morning, I walked into our office, a renovated warehouse now home to 15 employees. Neurasync had started as an idea scribbled on napkins during lunch breaks at my old software job. Now, our predictive analytics technology was catching serious attention. "That bad, huh?" Liam asked, sliding a coffee toward me. "Same story, different day," I said. Natalie lands a government contract and suddenly she's cured world hunger. Meanwhile, we're just, revolutionizing how companies understand consumer behavior. No big deal. "The investor meeting's confirmed for Thursday," Liam said. "Westlake Ventures wants to see the new algorithm in action. When it goes well," I corrected him, "we'll have the capital to take on Horizon Data directly." Horizon Data, my biggest competitor, had rejected my job application years ago, suggesting I find a less technical career path. That rejection letter still sat in my desk drawer. 3 years of ramen noodles, maxed-out credit cards, and 18-hour days had brought me here. And I wasn't about to waste it. Thursday came. In Westlake's conference room, I stood tall, walking them through our numbers. Our algorithm has outperformed market standards by 27%. Horizon's system relies on yesterday's data. Ours predicts tomorrow. 2 hours later, Liam and I walked out in stunned silence. Westlake had agreed to lead a funding round, valuing Neurasync at $90 million. That same afternoon, my mother called, reminding me about my father's retirement party. "Maybe you could bring those brownies you used to make," she suggested. The contrast was almost laughable. In one moment, I'd secured millions for a tech company. In the next, I was being asked to bake dessert. By Thursday morning, Forbes, Business Insider, and the Wall Street Journal had picked up the story. Disruptor alert, Ethan Cole named youngest male CEO in tech after landmark investment deal. My phone lit up with messages from old classmates, distant relatives, even people I hadn't spoken to in years. But from my parents? Nothing. When I finally called, my father's voice was clipped. "I suppose you think we're impressed, making a show in the business pages?" "Dad, I built this from nothing, no connections, no family support, not even a word of encouragement." Now you've got your name in some articles. We'll see how long it lasts. It was the same old narrative. But I was done playing the overlooked son. Sunday, retirement party day. I arrived in my brand new Jaguar F-Type, a personal reward for years of grinding. Heads turned as I stepped out in a tailored suit, bold tie, and the confidence of a man who'd made it on his own. "Ethan," my mother said slowly. "You look different." I walked straight to my father. "Happy retirement," I said, handing him a small wrapped box. Inside was an engraved watch, "To New Beginnings." He took it but didn't open it. Later, whispers spread when my sister's wife announced loudly, "Did you all hear? His company's worth 90 million. Suddenly, I wasn't invisible. Relatives asked about Neurasync, Forbes, my secrets to success. The dynamic had shifted. My father stayed quiet, until his speech. After praising Natalie, he turned toward me. "And Ethan, who's apparently been quietly building something none of us understood. I may have underestimated him." It wasn't an apology. But it was the first public acknowledgement that he might have been wrong. 2 months later, at the grand opening of our new headquarters, my family stood there, my father wearing the watch I gave him. "Dad," I said quietly, "all those times you called me useless, they hurt. But they also made me prove you wrong." "You certainly did that," he admitted. And in that moment, I realized, I didn't need his approval anymore. I'd built something lasting, something undeniable. I was Ethan Cole, CEO, innovator, and the architect of my own success. And no one would ever call me useless again. If you've ever been doubted, underestimated, or told you weren't good enough, remember, you don't need anyone's permission to succeed. Build quietly, work relentlessly, and let your results speak so loudly that no one can ignore you. Your worth isn't defined by their belief, it's proven by your perseverance.